The ego illusion, a tool, not your master. You've heard about the ego a million times. You've also heard that it's not real. But wait, if it's not real, then why does it feel so present? Why does it influence our every thought, emotion, and decision? Today, we're diving into what the ego really is, why it distorts our reality, and how to transcend it. Let's break it down. So what is the ego? As a child, you begin to sense something, the presence of self. Every experience, every moment is analyzed in relation to this self. Neuroscience calls this the default mode network, or DMN, a system in your brain responsible for self-referencing, storytelling, and daydreaming. But what exactly is the ego? Sam Harris explains it with a simple analogy. Imagine you're in a room looking out of a window. You can see a faint reflection of yourself in the glass. That's your ego. But if you shift your focus, you see the world beyond the window. That's reality. The ego is real in the way a dream is real while you're experiencing it. But when you wake up, you realize it was just a passing mental construct. Studies using fMRI brain scans show that meditation reduces activity in the DMN, leading to a weaker sense of self-referencing and more direct perception of reality. So if the ego is just a reflection, why does it feel like the only thing that's real? The ego isn't evil or good. It's simply a navigation system, helping us set goals, interact with others, and survive in society. It constantly corrects our desires, adjusts our behavior to fit in, and interprets reality based on past experiences. But here's the problem. It doesn't show you life as it is. It shows you life as it thinks it should be, and you get a tiny part of the big picture. Example, you meet someone new. Instead of experiencing them as they are, your ego filters them through past memories, judgments, and assumptions. If they remind you of a past friend, you instantly like them. If they remind you of someone who hurt you, you instantly distrust them. This isn't reality, it's just ego projection. According to cognitive bias studies, the brain takes mental shortcuts, or heuristics, to process experiences faster. But in doing so, it distorts reality based on past patterns. So is the ego good or bad? In meditation, we don't label the ego as good or bad, because those labels come from, guess who? The ego itself. Instead, we see it for what it is, a tool, not an identity. Weak versus strong ego. A weak ego makes you easily manipulated, indecisive, and emotionally unstable. A strong, flexible ego allows you to function in society and gives you more confidence. In other words, you need a steady ego, even if it's just an image. Brain scans of experienced meditators show less identification with the ego and more activity in areas linked to present moment awareness. Example, instead of saying, "I am angry," a meditator sees there is anger arising. Instead of saying, "I am failing," they recognize failure is happening, but I am not it. By shifting from ego identification to observer mode, you start seeing reality unfiltered. Spiritual teacher Adyashanti suggests that the ego is just a step in human evolution. Think of it like a ladder. You needed it to climb, but once you've reached the next level, you don't need to cling to it anymore. The key? Observe it, but don't let it run the show. Practical tips to loosen the grip of ego. 1. Practice self-inquiry. Ask, who is the I that is thinking this thought? 2. Shift to the observer mindset. Recognize emotions and thoughts without identifying with them. 3. Use meditation to see clearly the ego's hold. Studies show that just 10 minutes a day of mindfulness reduces ego-centered thinking. The ego was never meant to be your master, just a tool for navigating life. So next time it tries to control your emotions, remember, just my self-image, irrelevant and no need for reacting. Observe the reflection, but don't mistake it for reality. Let us know in the comments, what's your experience with transcending the ego? And if this video opened your mind, hit like, subscribe, and join us on this journey beyond the self. See you in the next one.